What's going on, guys? Happy Monday.
Hey, everybody.
All right. So, what do we got here? We got John, which was a surprise. Wasn't expecting you today.
I was not expecting to be here tonight. It's just circumstances led me to, once I have to come out as far as Princeton, well,
might as well come
at that
here,
point,
right?
yeah, because I'm either sitting in traffic or...
Yeah, that's a good point, especially this week, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so what is coming out for Dynamite today? Or not today, but Wednesday. So we got Red Sonja She-Devil with a sword. Let's see, what else we got? Red Sonja Noir.
I like that book a lot. That's
Vampirella Summer Special 2026.
well, I'll need to see the covers for that. Hey, CJ, Marcus, I think I see a bunch of people.
The Lion King #4, cover A. And, well, all the other covers as well. Sorry about that. Lilo and Stitch 626 is also out. So all these will be out on Wednesday. And we'll talk. Robbie's here as well, so we'll talk a little bit about how his weekend was, how John's was, and a couple of things on TV that we should cover. What do you think?
Not that soccer nonsense.
No, I like Rita's too. Just saying.
You know what I like doing on Mondays in the summer?
What? Be at the shore.
Being at the shore. But...
All right, so hang out. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Hey, Robbie, what's going on, man?
What is up, everybody? Happy to be here.
So I have not watched any World Cup games, FIFA. I'm not a huge soccer fan, but beyond that, FIFA is so corrupt. I refuse to watch anything that they throw. We all know some of this stuff is being financed out of taxpayer dollars. I live in New Jersey, so we got MetLife, okay, up north. And it is just a travesty what they've done. And the dynamic ticketing prices, okay, basically they're saying we're trying to prevent the scalpers from doing what they do. No, you're trying to replace the scalpers by making sure you pocket all the money.
Well, there's a reason New Jersey is called the Soprano State, and that's because systematically the state has removed the middleman between the mark, which is me and everybody else who lives here, and the actual product, the tickets, right? You would have scalpers. You would have, I'll tell you what's going to happen to Ticketmaster. All these people that are saying, I'm outraged, Ticketmaster is ripping people off. Eventually, you will get some sort of state licensing to sell tickets.
Right.
And Ticketmaster will go away, or somebody will buy the trademark for it. And just like Pennsylvania and liquor, if you're trying to buy tickets to a concert, you'll get them through the state because they're seeing Ticketmaster making a ton of money. This is New Jersey. I realize the rest of the world is being taken over by zillionaires and corporate types. Here in Jersey, one of the reasons the state is slow to get rid of these data centers is because New Jersey gets a much higher cut of data center money than like the next 5 states. Because that's how they roll.
Unknown. I know what you're saying. You know, it would be a huge sacrifice if I was actually a soccer fan, but I'm not.
There's Unknown. He's in one of those class action lawsuits right now against Ticketmaster.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to break Ticketmaster because, at least
I
in
don't
this
think
state,
so. Did they reach some sort of agreement with the government?
I don't know if they've reached an agreement with Jersey.
That was probably another class action lawsuit against Ticketmaster, man. Like, this seems like it happens all the time.
Yeah, CJ mentioned it. When you're in PA and you want a drink, you don't go to Rex's liquor store.
Right.
Nice friendly guy.
What's
you say
the, what's
hello
the
to,
deal in
so-
Pennsylvania with liquor and beer? What's the deal up there?
So it is an old throwback law, blue law, that they've had on the books for ages. So you have to go to a special state run liquor store to get liquor. Wine and beer can only be sold by wholesalers, and you have to go there to buy it. But other than that, so ironically,
Some of the micro places get a little bit of a.
yeah, ironically enough, certain, I don't know, not grocery stores, but like convenience stores have a license to be able to sell beer and wine. So you can't go, but the upcharge is ridiculous. So everything in terms of hard liquor and wine and anything that you would buy at one of the state stores is much higher than if you came to New Jersey. So in New Jersey, you open a liquor store, you could sell anything you want. So a lot of people in Philadelphia, if you live in Pittsburgh, I don't know what you do, but if you live in Philly, you can cross the bridge and get your liquor. You know, even including the bridge toll, it's probably in your best interest to come here and get your liquor. Beer and wine, it's so weird. I bought beer when I've been over in Philly to visit a friend.
Yep.
You have to go in the freezer yourself,
Yep.
grab the case or whatever, and it is freezing cold in there, of course. But walk in kind of freezer to go in there and grab your beer and stuff. It is just insane, and the system has not changed, and the pricing is so high. It's because it's artificially regulated.
Yeah. Well, Marcus brought up, I don't want to know primitives that are pumping their own gas. That's the best thing about living in New Jersey. You see somebody pump their own gas when you're traveling, you can make that face. I don't know if that's the valuable trade-off for all the other stuff that we get hit with, man.
Okay. So, yes, you're correct, Marcus. But here's the thing. It's not like you're paying more for gas here. Actually, we have some of the lowest gas prices in the area.
We do, because there's so many refineries
right
in North Jersey.
Biggest
So you can't pump your own gas in New Jersey.
That's correct.
No,
Wow,
you don't
that's
have
nuts.
training for it.
There's like no like full service pumps anymore in my area at all. It's all self-serve.
I think that's most of the country.
Yeah.
The only reason California has a lot of full service pumps is because California has a lot of everything.
Yeah, that's true.
What, like 90 million people live in California or something. It's insane. But most states, full service
Marvel
gas.
fan, I would agree. It is a little weird, but we're not paying more for it. So the worst thing that can happen is you pull up to a gas station and it's understaffed a little bit. So there might be a little bit of a wait. But I don't mind. I mean, it's no big deal to me. So I pull up, I don't have to get out. If it's really cold in the winter, I don't have to get out of my car. Somebody does it for me. I just roll my window down.
Do you have to tip the guy who does it though? Because like
Nope.
No, that used to. When I was a kid, my dad would always round it up. Like, say he would be gassing up his truck,
Right.
and it would be like $4.25 or some ludicrous amount of money because everything was pennies back then, right?
Quarter.
He'd give the guy a $5 and say,
Yeah.
"Keep the change," and the guy would act like my dad had bought him like a steak dinner. It was just a very different vibe. Here in Jersey, you know how here in Jersey, like 3 out of every 4 women has waited tables at some point in their life? Up until like 2000, 1 in every 3 guys had pumped gas for a living. Whether they were going through college, after school, old retired guys, they could still haul themselves out of the chair, run over.
So
you know.
Oregon apparently has the same laws. Interesting. I did not know that. So the biggest problem with not pumping your own gas.
Another reason for me to like Portland.
So the only problems I've run into is if I travel out of state, I've caught myself, a few times pulling up for gas and sitting there waiting for somebody to come by and realize, oh crap, I'm not in Jersey.
No.
I have to get out and do it myself.
See, I'm full service in terms of gender equality. If my wife drags me out of New Jersey for some nonsense with family, when we have to stop for get gas, right out her little A goes to get the gas pump. I'm not. Don't even ask.
So the other problem with it
I'll
was
pay for it, but no.
when my daughter first got her car, she had no idea how to pump the gas when she went out of state. No clue at all. I actually had to do a tutorial with her to show her what to do. She had no clue what to do. So those are the 2 biggest problems I've ever run into with it. But other than that, it's fine. Marvel fan. We have dry towns here too.
You know what I want to do? I want to sit in my car one day, you and I, leave your car open with the keys in it in a neighborhood, watch kids try to steal your car, and then not be able to drive it because you've got a 5-speed. 6-speed. That is the greatest anti-theft device known to man in this part of the country.
Absolutely is.
You see people look in and they're like, it's an antique. I'm like,
although I was up in North Jersey, Morristown over the weekend, and the way Waze took me back was through all these towns and side roads. It was late. I was tired. I got to admit, clutching was a real pain. So
the problem now is, I came very close to buying a car, a 5-speed. I've been looking for a while for the Cadillac XLT at the price I want.
Right.
And they're very expensive because they have the V12 Corvette engine in it.
Right.
Somebody had a 6-speed for sale over in Bristol, PA. And I went over the bridge to take a look at it. And the guy knew what he had. And the single best thing about this car was I could leave the top down when I run in and out of places because no one's going to take a car that's,
right,
a manual transmission. And my wife doesn't know how to drive one. So I don't have to worry about her tooling around in my car, which she's done most of our lives. But I'm at the point now where, no, I bought you a car. I'm good with that. You don't need mine too. And the guy he knew what he had. The guy wanted, he's like, they only made so many of these, blah, blah, blah. The guy wanted like $40,000 for it. And I said, good luck, man. I said, I never paid full price for anything in my life with my own money, but good luck to you. I hope you get it. And he understood.
I don't know. I think the market is shrinking for that. Warlord, I don't think so. I've had this 6-speed for a while. I understand why there's a 6th gear, if you will. It's kind of a cruising gear if you're on the highway. It's not to say if I'm accelerating slowly that I haven't been known to pop it from 4th into 6th.
Yeah.
Bypassing 5 altogether. But the only problem is I think that at the end of the day, it does affect resale. So I'm probably driving this car into the ground because no one, who are you going to sell the car to, right? Because only 17% of Americans can still drive a stick.
Yeah, it's real low. It's less than 1 in 5 now, man. It's pretty low.
When I got it, it was fun. I was happy to have it because I learned to drive on a 4-speed, believe it or not.
Hey, Jay, somebody say, no, it's probably not me.
But now I'm starting to think, and I have to admit, going in the dark, getting old, all these small towns in North Jersey, all the lights and everything else, it was kind of a pain to have to do all that shifting, and clutching. But
dude, I'm old enough. The first car I had was a 4-speed.
Yeah, my first car.
Car was a 4-speed, so it was.
So I have to admit, it is fun. You're more engaged in driving in the road. Okay.
Yeah, like the people have Jeeps and stuff. They're actually driving.
Yeah.
Now it's, people kind of get in between all the, the thing is like hermetically sealed and this and that, and the air conditioning filters, a million different things. I almost feel like I'm on like the monorail. There's this weird hum, you know what I mean? Last year, a buddy and I trusted him to rent the car, and he rents a Tesla. And we had to drive like to the cabin we stayed. It was an hour drive. And we're driving in this thing, and the seats are kind of weird. And he's looking at the iPad thing here, and there's a weird hum. And I'm like, I assume this is what it feels like when you're on the conveyor belt and you're coughing, and they're leading you into the furnace there. Like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this at all. Terrible.
So yeah, it's some days it's kind of a pain. Like one time I took my nephew to Great Adventure, the safari, and it was packed, right? And it's like being stuck in New York during gridlock traffic.
Yeah.
And at that point, my left leg was starting to ache because I had to clutch so much, and people aren't moving. People would stop, block the road to look at the macaws. just different animals, and it was getting to be a little bit of a pain.
Marvel
So
fan, my
enjoy it.
wife's car that we just bought does that too. And I always forget about it. I have to go into settings and shut it off. Eco Drive or some nonsense. First of all, it makes the car slower. And second of all, I get to a light and it just stops.
So
No,
I have to tell you,
again,
I
no.
rented a car that had that feature, and because my first car, the distributor cap, when they used to have those, there was a crack in it. So when you came to full stop, the car would stall.
Ugh.
And it just felt like the car every time I came to a light, I'm like, oh crap, the car stalled, and realized no, it didn't stall.
It's designed to do that.
Yeah, it was just kind of a pain, but whatever.
It's not my thing, and that's what we said. If people are driving Teslas, if people are driving these Eco Drive, whatever cars, if you like them, awesome, man. Like it's your money, so get what you like. But no.
But I'll tell you what's interesting. When I bought this car, it turns out that the automatic transmissions and the computers on board become so complex that, remember back in the day when you used to buy a car, your manual transmission would get better gas mileage than the automatic transaxle. Well, when I bought my car,
somebody just mentioned it in the chat, and
it was an extra feature.
You paid more for an automatic transmission.
So here's what's weird. So when I looked at my car and an automatic of the same model, the automatic actually got better gas mileage.
Did you really?
Yeah, because the computer is making that adjustment these days by the second, right? So it knows exactly the fuel flow and all that stuff. Whereas manually, you're depending on human. I don't downshift anymore. You know why, Space Case? The only time I used to downshift was a real winding road, right? I would downshift into fourth so I could take the turn a little bit faster without really using the brakes. But I don't downshift anymore because it puts strain on the drivetrain when you downshift. Whereas brakes, since the invention of the disc brakes, it's so much cheaper just to replace the brakes and the pads than to affect the drivetrain.
See, I always drove larger trucks. Like 250, 350 to trail the thing. You absolutely had to downshift, man, because you would jam on it. If your truck wasn't 100% or maybe, you know what I mean, it needed servicing, you would blow brake lines.
Thanks, Stevie B.
So
what I have been known to do, though,
signed by the maker.
When I get real low on gas, to save gas, I'll push the clutch in and coast to the light. Rather than use the engine and try to save the gas until I got to the gas station because I didn't want to run out of gas. Yes, that's true, Edward. You're right about that. It is a lot better in the snow. Tate.
Tate, that's right. I was just thinking that there are a couple towns in North Jersey, which, while certainly not anywhere near the level of San Francisco, there are towns in North Jersey like Fort Lee that it is just hills. Palisades Park, where you're down and you have to go up and down and up and down. I remember driving in those days with like a 4-speed, and it was like it was like anxiety because you'd have to watch and pop and you'd miss it or you'd fall back and you'd hit something.
So here's what's funny, okay? And I didn't realize it when I first bought this car. So my car has hill clutch.
Oh, very cool.
So it doesn't actually move for a couple seconds and then realizes that you're not clutching, and then it'll start to roll backwards.
But that's neat.
For like 10, maybe 15 seconds when you're at the hill, it'll hold itself until you engage it. So
I like that
was a little bit weird the first time. I've driven a stick in San Francisco. I got to tell you, Space Case, there was a trick because I went to visit my cousin she can also drive a stick. The family had a VW Rabbit. The trick was to park at the peak of the hill, although it wasn't always possible. So you had to be really good with the clutching on those hills because the hills are like this, where you're sitting like this, practically vertical.
Yeah,
so you had to do it real quick. Otherwise, you'd roll back like quite a bit, hit the car behind you. So that's my stick shift story of the day. All right. So, Robbie, what's the movie of the night?
Well, tonight we are at the end of Crew's Choice, and we gave the final pick to the most important member of our crew over at Pop Culture Philosophers, which is the audience. So the audience got together. They picked 10 movies. They voted on them, and the winner was Hot Fuzz. So tonight we're talking about Hot Fuzz, the Edgar Wright film
Nice.
starring
This is
Simon
a
Pegg,
good-
Nick Frost. I remember liking this movie enough when it came out. On the revisit, I'm very, very glad I revisited this film. I'm very, very excited to talk about it. And this is going to be the perfect film to transition from Crew's Choice to next week, where we start Action Fest, and it's all Van Damme all month long.
Oh, Van Damme.
Stevie B, I did drive down Lombard, right? So Lombard is the crookedest street in the world, right?
It's a slalom course.
Right, but here's the thing: it's very easy because you don't put it in gear. It's so steep. You just push the clutch in and use the brake. That's it. You don't have to use the engine at all. Yeah, Barlord, absolutely right, Tate. You curb your wheels, pop it in the opposite gear. Okay, depending whether you're facing up or facing down is how you turn the wheel. So
yeah,
if it
we all
starts-
learned that, right? In driver's ed, you point away if you're uphill, you point towards if you're downhill, right?
No.
Our downtown area has some hills,
Exactly.
so we
See,
had
I
to
gotta
learn
say, I
that in
know
my
there are
time.
people saying that we really need to bring back manual transmissions. No, we don't. We don't, because people, and I'm not talking about like young people, I'm talking about like 50 and under. They have no interest in relearning the skill.
Or
And
some
they're
of those
so-
50 and older, John. I mean, I think there's a certain age where you should start having to retake your driving test every so.
Oh, I know. I'm 100%. I'm 60. So if they
No
told
more
me to
manual
take my
transmission,
test-
no flying cars, y'all. I would
No.
never do a flying car in this world that we live in.
people are like, oh, I
Here's
wish we had
here's the
Jetson's
thing.
cars.
I
No, I
tried to
don't.
teach my daughter how to drive the stick, and we went out 3 times, and that was the end of it. All right. I had this fantasy in my head that I would pass the car on to her when I bought it, when she learned to drive and needed a car. And it was so horrific that after the 3rd lesson, I said no more, because all I could see was her trying to make a left turn, stall, and get T-boned by a tractor or trailer, right? So, but also it did endear her fiance to me. So when I was in the hospital, I had driven my car to urgent care, right? It was parked out there, the one in Larchmont.
Oh, yeah.
And then they took me in the ambulance to the hospital. So someone needed to get my car so he can drive a stick. His family had a Jeep that he had to learn to drive on. So he actually knows how to drive a stick. So he's the one human being that can drive my car. So that was
Have you
kind
ever
of
been
cool.
down to casino and a young valet jumps in your car?
No, I never valet park for that reason.
The young valet is just like, and he'll always call over a much older supervisor or coworker.
I've had that happen.
Now, it's fine in other places. There's a lot of people with money who go to Vegas. A lot of people who've spent 6 figures on nice cars. You would figure that day 1 they would say, can you drive stick? If not, day 2, your lessons start.
Right.
Because I'm not feeling super comfortable. I love valet parking if I'm in like a shirt and tie deal, right? Normally I'm fine, I don't care. But if my wife makes me dress up, do the whole thing, $250 for dinner, whatever the heck it is,
If I had a car like that,
then I want the valet to take the car.
all I can think about is that one scene in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Okay, with those 2 guys, those 2 parking attendants going over that hill in that Ferrari, hands up, yeah. No, so, and if you're a teenager, no way. You're gonna end up grinding my gears. I can feel it.
My buddy has
You gotta grind it till you find it, Rex.
My buddy has like a 97 Jaguar XJS convertible. He only takes it out a few times a year. We took it over to, oh God, I can't think of the name of the casino down in Delaware. And the look on this kid's face when he pulled up, he looked at me and he's like, I should probably have parked this myself. Because like it became like the Hunger Games for the valets to see who was going to park his car. Completely restored, you know what I mean? Premium edition type stuff. And I just said to him, I said, well, you could always take a picture of your mileage, because while we're in here having dinner,
Good point.
you know those kids are just going to be driving this car around.
Right.
I'm like, that's why I didn't drive. And it was fine though. I mean, he said he didn't notice, everything was fine. But here, let me park that for you. You with the Ford Taurus? Yeah, dangle, go in.
So my sophomore college roommate.
Why don't you
I have
wait
to
until
give you
after the
credit.
break and tell us?
Well, I'll tell him then we'll go to break.
Okay.
I have to admit, I was impressed. So he went to buy a car. He bought a used Toyota Celica when they were hot, but it was a 5-speed. He didn't know how to drive a stick.
Oh no!
So he limped his way all the way home, but that's how he learned. That's how.
I don't know if I've still forgiven Staten Island in Central Jersey for making Toyota Celicas a thing back in the late 80s and early 90s. What is wrong with you?
It's a nice car.
No, they're just a car. That would be like if I said to you, "Hey, come on, take a look at this. I got a Ford Fiesta." You'd be like,
No.
What?
A Celica was kind of a sports model. Whatever. You're too bougie for me. All right, so we're going to take our first break, and we'll get right back, and we'll cover the giveaway of the night. So hang out. We'll be right back.
Whoa. Did you miss it? Yeah, they can go by pretty fast. Let's slow down the footage.
Welcome. It's time to skim some comics. Miles Morales Spider-Man, I will just tell you that Miles is very important in his role as a vampire. So
it's fine. If you like Hercules, read it. If you don't like it, don't worry about it. It's fine.
The art is still stunning. There's a panel, little spoiler, there's a panel in this where Chitauri first hits Lion-O, and he is the best "did she really just hit me" face I've ever seen put in a comic book.
Wow, live reviews of new comic books so you can be ready for New Comic Book Day. What is this? Oh, I see. It's Minute to Skim It. Part of the experience.
Programming on the EXP is made possible by viewers like you, or your local comic shop, or that Kickstarter you backed, or the publisher you like, or comic industry professionals who want to share a message with the world. Really, anyone who wants to advertise with us can. If you're interested in seeing a product you know and love, or are creating, or are publishing, or are involved with, advertised here on The Experience, and having your message shared with our viewers, please reach out by scanning the QR code below or visiting our website and using the contact form.
Hey, I'm Beardy Rich.
And I'm Littleback Beardy Des. And join us for the triumphant return of the Geek Chat on July 2nd, 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern.
Where we will be telling you our thoughts on Supergirl. Please join us.
Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons in Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
All right, so somebody mentioned it. I want to talk about this as well. So what is going on with Supergirl? I heard
it's
it
a culture war thing. I've seen the movie, and here's the problem. And I love doing this to people.
I have not seen the movie.
It's super obnoxious. I've seen the movie 7 times in like 6 days. Stop lying. If you didn't like the movie, be quiet and go on with your day. If you're trying to turn it into a monetized career on YouTube, you're a loser. You just are. If you don't like the movie, that's fine. But stop pretending that you don't like the movie for any reason that's not legitimate filmmaking. And people love to say it. And I love to tell them on the internet how they're full of... And of course, they get upset and block me because they're filled with rage. I don't want to hear anything First of all, people invalidate their opinion when they say, "Oh, she looks like Chaka from Land of the Lost. She's not pretty." Okay, I know you don't know what you're talking about.
Bruh, I know. I'm just saying, though, when I saw those memes start popping up, I was like, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
I feel bad, too, because I'm trying to, like, do good by the movie, but I sat there and laughed, and I was just like, Chaka, Chaka.
No, I mean, I love Millie Alcock. I love House of the Dragon one. I don't see why she couldn't play that role going forward. I haven't seen the movie yet myself, but I've seen all that stuff, you know, the culture war-y type stuff, but I've seen people I trust personally and like film critics that I trust kind of all say a lot of the same thing. Like, she's good, Jason Momoa's good, the villain's forgettable, and it's poorly lit is what I hear from a lot of people.
I don't know if I'm qualified to say it's poorly written because, as Robbie found out this past week, I can't even properly write one of my own recipes.
Oh my God, dude. Let me tell you something. First and foremost, everybody, John gave me that coleslaw recipe and I made it. Everybody loved it, John. We had dogs, we had burgers, we had chicken, we had ribs, and a bunch of fruit and veggies and stuff. Nobody brought like lettuce or tomato or onions or anything like that for the hot dogs or the hamburgers. So they're like, oh, thank God we have something to put on these hamburgers and these hot dogs. Everybody loved it, man. After a little bit of a kerfluffle with the reading of the recipe. I made this coleslaw and I called him. I messaged him. I was like, John, this is very, very orange.
Because I messed it up. That's why. Because I just, like I said, if people wonder why Nick doesn't give me a chance to write comics, because he knows I can barely write a recipe. He's not going to have me write a comic book. Besides, I have friends that can do that.
It was delicious, though, John. I loved it.
I'm glad.
I was worried about the Serrano replacement, like being too hot for some people. It was a little bit too spicy, too much kick for some, but for most people, they were like, dude, this is good. It's got kick. It's not overly sweet. Y'all, I'm calling it the John Coleslaw. I love that thing, man. I'm going to keep making. That's going to be a staple now, John, just so you know.
I'm glad you liked it. That slaw was actually, first of all, I'm positive I'm not the only person that has ever done carrot jalapeno slaw. That was done on one of my food trailers years ago by a mistake.
Right.
The person brought jalapenos instead of green peppers for a different recipe. So I'm like, what am I going to do with this? And I decided to do a slaw. For the longest time, now people are a little bit open-minded about slaw. Back in the day, if it wasn't like cabbage and mayonnaise and whatever, it was a no-go. And first of all, there's still at least half the people out there that hate coleslaw. They just throw it in the trash when they see it because they don't want it. So I wound up.
I love coleslaw.
For stuff like a burger or a fried chicken sandwich, you kind of need a little bit of crunch.
I love coleslaw by itself.
Pulled pork. I love pulled pork.
I love it by itself.
Robbie's part of the country is probably like the pulled pork king, right down there. However, I feel like it needs a little bit of crunch.
Barlord, I even like bad coleslaw, believe it or not.
See, I don't like most coleslaws because, and somebody at the party even said this, John. They said this coleslaw is so great because it's not like typical slow coleslaw, which to me is mayo with a lot of something in it. You know what I'm saying? With a lot.
Yeah, it's just not. I'm glad
and it usually is like KFC coleslaw, you know, that kind of thing.
I just kind of passed that over. The truth is, I found out over the years,
restaurants down here that have great barbecue, but they got this overly mayo, creamy coleslaw with no crunch, no variety. It's just cabbage, maybe a couple of carrots. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just. I told John I wanted a coleslaw recipe that people that didn't like coleslaw would love.
Yeah,
and it came true. It came true.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad your guests liked it. Back slightly to the Supergirl thing. I mean, I'm kind of having fun.
Is it true its opening day sales was even worse than Craven?
I know it was worse than Morbius, and it's been worse than a few. It was $38 million domestically. It's underperforming for certain, but there's a lot of factors involved outside of just like maybe people don't. First of all, I get it. Some people are looking at this and being like, it's a lot of people like just kind of fighting against the fact that it's a woman-led superhero movie, but we've had women-led superhero movies make $1 billion, right? Also, the Marvels opened up higher than this one. I think the biggest thing is this. Superman worked, What do people want next? Batman, Wonder Woman, Supergirl may not have been the best movie to follow up Superman, in my opinion.
Well, I think James Gunn was trying to do the Creature Commandos thing, right? But I don't think he realized he did Creature Commandos literally because he could. And honestly, I think that was like an ego flex, right? Like, watch me take these like half-forgotten, obscure characters from DC's past and watch me put them on HBO and people will like them. All right, man, much respect. You pulled it off. I don't know of anyone who watched Creature Commandos that didn't think that was a good animated series. However, when you take that idea, that flex, and now you're putting it on, like an 8 and 9 figure scale, they made $70 million their opening weekend. I know a lot of people that would be happy with $70 million.
So let's see how it does when it hits streaming, because a lot of films that don't do well in theaters can sometimes have that second wind when you start streaming.
That's what's happening now, too. People know.
Because I do want to see it. I don't know if I'll go to a movie theater to see it.
People are just
I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it like this week. I'm excited.
Apple or whatever, and you'll pay your $6, $7 and you'll watch it from the comfort of your home.
Right.
I think movies in general are just sort of, like I said, I think Avengers Endgame peaked not just the money in terms of box office. I think it was the peak of people rushing to the movies to see franchise films.
Right.
I think it's just sort of, you're not going to see that reaction again. I mean,
it's also coming up right after Toy Story 5, which is hot right now, like super hot. People like it had a huge first week. It had a huge second week. It was the #1 movie in its second week. And I think the bigger talking point here is, and I know that this is something we've all been talking about for years and years and years, but we are starting to see fatigue for the same old.
I would agree with that. I would
like
definitely
Obsession is approaching $300 million on a $750,000 budget. They're spending all these money on these movies, Masters of the Universe, Supergirl, and they're underperforming. And all it really takes, and every one of us, I think, can agree on this: a good story, some good direction, and some solid acting. That's really all it takes.
I would say that's why Project Hail Mary did as well as it did, because it wasn't a franchise. It was something completely new. It was a well-written book, because I read the book as well. And this is a movie I did see in the theaters, and it was well done as a movie. Held very true to the book. I thought the acting was great, but it was something brand new. It wasn't connected to Avengers or something of that nature.
Yeah. But then again, Marcus is kind of right. When Spider-Man comes out in a few weeks, there's not going to be any fatigue again. It's going to make $1 billion. Spider-Man is. Avengers Doomsday is going to go good. But then we'll have this same conversation next year when we're like, well, did that fix the MCU's problems?
When they do Spider-Woman, it'll underperform.
Exactly. I mean,
unfortunately, Supergirl just had Spider-Man. Supergirl had too many factors working against it. And that had nothing to do with the movie. Then, so they were already behind the 8 ball. Now we transition into the movie. The villain is lame. Period. The villain is just lame. I'm not going to the movie to see the villain. I'm going to the movie to see Supergirl. So as long as they have her doing Supergirl stuff.
Yeah, but hold on, John. When you went back and say you saw Batman, the original, I know you're not a Batman guy, so maybe that's a bad example. But seeing Jack Nicholson as Joker was just as much of a marquee moment as seeing a Batman film. Seeing Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito in those roles,
Batman, right? Soundtrack. Yeah.
Not being a Batman fan, but Batman is the first movie that I went to see like every day for a week. Everybody thinks it's going to be something else.
I agree. I'm not sold on Doomsday either.
Batman with Michael Keaton is the first movie where every day for a week I went to see it.
Right.
There was one day where I just stayed in the theater. The girl I was dating at the time was just paging me. That's how old the story is. My pager's going off and my pager's going off. And they're like, oh, we're cleaning up the theater. And I'm like, oh, when is the next showing? They're like 15 minutes. Reached over, took the battery out of my pager, went back out, got more little pretzel bites and soda, came back in. I'll watch the movie again.
So, all right.
And I am not a Batman guy, although somebody told me I'm not a comic book Batman
No,
guy.
you're not a Batman.
Because I love Michael
You
Keaton.
like the Adam West show, right?
I like the Adam West show. And I really liked Batman the Animated
And it
Adventure.
was
I
brand
own
new.
that.
The whole concept of superhero movies was brand new. They just came out the success of Superman.
Yeah, Eddie, you see it too, right? He just the Chaka Supergirl man. I was having fun with a lot of these sort of retro grades who were like a girl movie. I like, look, I get it.
I don't like to, be like, I don't want to be that guy, right? I don't want to be like, oh, this movie's going to suck because it's a female lead or they're pushing some kind of political agenda or whatever. I want to watch the movie and see if it's good. Like, I still haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But man, when I saw that, those thumbnails,
It's
just, some things are just funny.
Some things are flat out funny. And I'm defending the movie, but I am telling you, it is hysterical.
Just real fast though, let's be real here. We can't really. Nobody went to Supergirl to see Creme of the Yellow Hills, guys. The one-off villain in a one-off story.
Jay, I think we're learning that nobody went to see Supergirl either, bro.
I did twice.
No, I'm just joking, man. I haven't seen the movie. I'm not talking smack about it. I haven't seen it. But like
twice. I was looking.
That's
at
the
my
other
app
thing is
to see
that, like,
if
some
I
people
could
say
send, Jay tickets to go again.
I've not seen it, but I've heard people that I trust, that I follow, say the script was pretty weak and the villain was forgettable. But then I'm like, well, have you read the comic it's based on? Because it's just True Grit with Supergirl, right?
Yes.
I mean, so like, and I don't know if they added to that or if they like. I'm very curious, Jay. I know you've read Woman of Tomorrow. How does it compare as an adaptation of that graphic novel?
Well, obviously they had to cut a lot of stuff out because if you read Woman of Tomorrow, there's many different planets they go to. It's not just like the 2 or 3 that they show. So they cut some of that stuff out. The weirdest thing that I'm going to say about it, again, nobody's clamoring for Creme of the Yellow Hills. I just found it weird that he looks like a cross between Ravagers and the people from Chronicles of Riddick when the actor himself looked like the character in the comic before they did that. That's my only weird thing about that one.
Well, unfortunately, the director of this film really stepped on a landmine. I don't know what would possess him to say this. His comment was, oh, before I started the movie, I didn't read the comic book. I did my own thing and caught up with the comic book later. So, dude, you're saying that you're on a higher level than the guy who wrote Woman Tomorrow in terms of Supergirl? Stop it. That made so much more sense to me when this idiot proudly proclaims this. When you are doing a movie based on source material and you think you're being a cool hipster by saying you didn't read the source material, what you're telling me is you're essentially unemployable because you don't prepare for the work you've been given. It's like if I hire a cook to do brunch and the guy hasn't made an omelet in 3 years.
When the MCU started, right? It started with Iron Man, which was not as big of a character to the public at the time as Superman is, right? But their follow-up movie was what? It was like Captain America, then it was Thor, right? No, it was Avenger. It was actually Iron Man 2. Then it was Captain America.
It was Iron Man 2, then Captain America the first.
Maybe we should have had a Superman 2 or a Batman movie or something. I think you needed to have your second full-length theatrical film be a bigger character and not a derivative of a main character.
This should have been an HBO series. This should not have been a box office release. This should have been a series because, as Robbie pointed out and other people have pointed out, now we know that the director, Craig Gillespie, I might have that name wrong, but
weird watch your
Craig Gillespie. And Marcus is right. I forgot. Incredible Hulk was kind of the follow-up. They were both filmed around the same time. And Incredible Hulk is always Hulk's always been that stuff that's like it's in the MCU, but it's kind of not. In fact, the sequel to Incredible Hulk was Captain America: Brave New World.
So I really want to see it.
Right? I like that.
I want to see Supergirl now and see what all the hoopla is about because the trailers seem fine to me. But again, Madam Web's trailers seem fine to me too.
I'll tell you, here's the Supergirl dialogue dynamic. You have Gail Simone here, who wants everyone who doesn't like the movie overwhelmingly to be Phantom Zone. She will push the Phantom Zone button all day to get you out of this plane of reality. That's how upset she is by one single person saying one single bad thing about this movie. Now over here, at this end of the dialogue, we have Jesse Waters. Women don't need to vote. Women don't need to own property. We have to do this and that. Why would you put a woman in a movie? He probably watches Lawrence of Arabia.
He probably doesn't even allow women to pump gas, bro.
So the answer is somewhere, of course, you've got the extremes, right? And if you think I'm kidding about Gail Simone, go check her out on social media for 10 minutes and then come on back and we'll talk about it. She's really, like, as a comic creator and a woman, she's offended, like at a visceral level, by people and these kind of things. Jesse Waters, I guess, is one of these kind of crackpots on Fox or whatever, trying to party like it's 1899. Look, dude, if you have an audience, go ahead, man. But when you start commenting about like comic book movies, come on, dude, stop, please. So these are the extremes of it's the best movie in the history of filmmaking, and we have to start rounding up women and putting them in breeding camps, right?
I don't know, man. I feel like I can't make an informed decision until I know what Dean Cain thinks about it.
So we're hearing here, right? The answer is somewhere here in the middle, where people are talking about, you know, some criticisms are legitimate. What Craig Gillespie put on film, if I wrote Woman of Tomorrow, I would find that guy at a con and smack him right in the face, because you basically claimed to rip off my work, but you didn't even do that right. I'd love to see guys throw hands at cons, because, look, dude, I don't know what you are as a filmmaker beyond this, but I can tell you right now, if somebody offers you a Superman movie, a superhero movie again, you should probably be beaten with a stick. Just awful. That being said, I know I don't think this was the greatest superhero movie of all time. I blame James Gunn for letting this movie go out the way it did. I enjoyed it because it's superpowered characters, this and that. Somebody mentioned really early on, why didn't Supergirl just take Krypto to a world with a yellow sun? They nipped that right in the bud. The healer on the first world where he got poisoned said he's too sick to move. Like, literally, he has to lay here. Is that like a plot device? Yeah, sure, of course it is. But that's sort of...
It seems like kind of a cheap solution to a problem.
Well, I have a problem. I have so many problems with lazy writers. I don't care if it's TV. I don't care if it's movies. I don't care if it's comic books. Being hack is like in vogue now. It just is. That's terribly lazy writing.
Yeah.
All right.
You see a lot of it in horror movies because you have to kind of like over-explain things. Like now, so many of the horror movies we loved and grew up with, if we had a cell phone, none of that would happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So like this, there's always no service. The car won't start. Things like that, right?
Even I realize Jersey is different than many other parts of the country, but back in the 80s and early 90s, Jersey girls would carry like box cutters in their pocketbooks because they hung out in rough clubs and they partied just as hard as guys did, but they know that things get out of hand. And there are tons of guys in this state that have got weird scars across their hands and palms because they got a little too friendly. And the girl grabbed a box cutter at the mall where she unpacked stuff at the Gap all day, and you got cut because you that wasn't like a once in a while. I mean, every weekend at clubs, you would see a guy sitting outside, and his friends were wrapping his hand up because he got out of line. So when you would take that girl to see a scary movie, they would be like, I don't know what's up in Illinois, but if he tried this in Atlantic City, he'd be the one found dead under the boardwalk, not me.
All right. So
the one thing I want to know about the Supergirl thing, do they fight outside of a Popeye's chicken?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
That's in Supergirl too.
I hope so. We need that Popeye's meal deal.
That's what I was going to say. We need the Popeye's meal deal. Or somebody said, how do you have a woman fighting like that and it's not Waffle House? Wait for the sequel.
Stevie B, I would say that the movies do not affect the sales of the comics much at all, to be honest with you. So I don't think the underperformance of Supergirl is going to affect DC Comics sales.
No.
All right, so the giveaway tonight is Avengers #1 with Century cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
Oh, that's not supposed to. That's mine.
Not anymore. It's not.
Is Marcus in the house?
Marcus is in the house.
Is in the house.
He just mentioned the sauces.
Marcus. Do you want these to go out tomorrow and they may get stuck with the holiday weekend, or do you want us to wait till Monday? Marcus was very generous on Friday.
Marcus, are you home yet? Because he is home. Wasn't.
I was going to say, is he being generous?
Marcus on Friday claimed these, and all the money's going to charity.
Oh, see, good on you, man. I love that.
Crypto. So did you see it? How many times did you see Supergirl?
I've seen it 7 times.
Oh, bro, that's the biggest problem right there. They did a KFC tie-in and not Popeyes. That's what happened.
Marcus, it's up to you. I mean, I guess you can wait. Is not an answer. I mean, you could always work it out with the Rex to send it out second day tomorrow.
Yeah, think about it, Marcus, and you can email me and Amy tomorrow.
Yeah, or later
answer.
Tonight, so they have it tomorrow.
Yeah, whichever. Think about it.
Well,
sleep on it.
Done.
All right, so we're
Angel
talking about
Firefly?
what happened with Supergirl.
Okay, just wait.
I have a new list
Why
for you.
the turnout's been so poor and there's been so much.
Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story's killing.
I think Toy Story
had
pulled a
something
lot
to
of
do
people.
with it. I think it had something to do with it, but it can't.
Toy
explain
Story,
everything.
and I'll tell you what pulled a lot of things away from Supergirl is obsession. People want to see what all the talk is about. They know what Supergirl is going to be about.
All right,
They
Marcus
know
says ship it all Monday.
Okay.
Marcus, can you still send the email to me and Amy just in case, if you don't mind? So I don't know if that's just it. There's been a lot of pushback.
You know what? Consumers gave it better review than critics.
I never listen to critics.
Yeah,
they know.
I think the biggest problem was that KFC coleslaw bucket, man. That was the biggest. If they would have had the John Cole coleslaw bucket, it would have worked.
Unfortunately, fortunately, it's good that I think Supergirl did well. I think it's a building block.
$70 million in the weekend.
Look, like somebody, you know what? Here's the thing. Marvel overcame the Hulk movie not doing well financially.
Yep.
The Edward Norton movie. That didn't do that well.
Right.
And they overcame that.
When Vampirella does $70 million in the opening weekend, you'll be delighted.
Especially if we only spend $12 million on it. So
yes, Marcus, it is cold.
I'm going to put this on your chair. Just wait till Monday.
I'm super glad.
Do you have a little note that's Marcus?
I'm super glad.
Yeah, right there it says Marcus.
Okay, yeah, it's right there.
Thank you. All right, so
no, I'm super glad. And yeah, if somebody else wants the recipe, get Robbie to sign a waiver, and then sure, I'll send it.
So I think it weird wanted it.
Send them the same recipe I got. I know.
I'll make sure I send the right one this time. Thankfully, Robbie's cooked enough to know, bro, this is not right, and he messaged me right away. I was glad.
I'm like, this is dry and it's so carroty.
Well, I'm looking at what I'm missing. I'm like, what did I do? Oh, I'm sorry, bro. My bad.
You're right. You should type it on a computer.
He just had it so that I doubled the amount of carrots in the recipe.
That explains why.
Which is fine because like I hardly had anything left, so I needed a big bowl. So then I was like, oh man, that's fine. So we just did double the carrots. So then because I was like, man, this is dry.
It's crunchy. It did not have a cream-based sauce. Right. There is like a little mayonnaise, but it's not like dripping, like gas station coleslaw or whatever. It's got acidity. It's got a little bit of heat, and it's got a little bit of sweet. And these are three things that will cut through all the heaviness of chicken and, burgers. And what you got, steak or ribs or something around there?
If you're grilling out dogs, especially, you get that nice grill char on it. It's perfect, dude. Oh, my God. It was so good.
It worked. And I was
Me too.
Now I got a whole thing of sweet hot mustard I'll never use again, though.
So there was something else I want to talk about.
Don't we have to go on another break or something?
Yeah, we will. And we'll talk about it when we get back. But it is on Netflix, Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, the animated show?
No. The live action. Season 2 premiered on the 25th. So I
Okay,
tried
word.
to watch it last night. Been a very busy weekend.
So you're saying that's what attracted everybody away from Supergirl?
No,
I'll
I'm not
accept
saying that at all. So I didn't manage to make it through past episode 2, mainly because I was so tired.
You were too tired
Okay.
to shut it off. I'm just watching.
So I'm just watching. But I plan to go home tonight because I watched the animated series with my daughter when she was growing up, and we both loved it. So then, but we'll talk about this when we get back from break. But there was that interim movie that they made like 10 years ago.
You talking about the
which
M. Night
was so
Shyamalan
bad.
one?
Yeah, it was so bad. So this series, I watched season 1 and I enjoyed it immensely.
Nice.
Season 2 looks to be as promising so far. What I remember before falling asleep on the couch.
So you're telling me Netflix has content other than my Korean cooking shows and Korean horror movies?
Yes, correct. All right, so we're gonna take
It's
our
not
second
just
break.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, right. The truth is, if my wife said, "Hey, we have to move to Korea," I'd be transferred. I got my watch list already for the week, man. I am there. I will on the plane. I will have the whatchamacallit my ears learning Korean because I got to tell you, some of their stuff is. Robbie once made a comment about how like Creative Fire is more of an independent scene than like Marvel or DC, and I have the same vibe when I watch like foreign TV and movies. They are just pushing the envelope way more than Hollywood is. Hollywood has become like a series of startups, payouts, and closeouts.
Right.
Every film now is a business, and it's been figured down to the half penny.
All right, so we're going to take our second break, and when we get back, we'll talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and we will eventually get some books.
A book. We got one book tonight, so.
All right, hang out. We'll be right back.
Symphonic verses, Nocturne's romance. A song of romanticized darkness, dreaming death by sleep.
FOC, a comic industry term for the final day a new comic can be ordered by a local comic shop. So, what does that mean to you? Well, it's your last chance to order a new comic book from your local comic shop. Order up! The FOC show will go over every book that's about to be cut off every Friday afternoon.
I'm going to highlight some of the stuff that I think is really worth paying attention to,
so that you can put in an order at your LCS for as many copies or as many variant covers as you want.
Sometimes the store needs to know to up their orders.
Never miss out on a popular comic again. Order up, part of the experience.
According to a statistic that I just made up, people spend 4 hours a day changing the television channel. People who watch The Experience don't do that. Save yourself a ton of time by tuning into The Experience and enjoying our new original programming 7 days a week. And then tell your friends. Think about the money they could save on batteries in the remote alone just by tuning into The Experience. Find out more by scanning the QR code below.
In a world where you hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
That'd be really great. Thanks.
are back. So you know what? Let's do the sketch covers real quick, and then we'll talk about Avatar after that. All right. So as usual, we have Dynamite 10-pack reader set, 10 random Dynamite titles, $3.99 cover price or higher, and as always, we got $5. Then we have Dynamic Forces Mystery Box, 2 CGC 9.8s, or 2 metal covers, or one of each. Up to you. 1 virgin, 1 signed, 1 exclusive, and 10 back issues. $200 retail value guaranteed, and as always, we have for $85. 2 graded books, or 2 metal books, or one of each for $85. The rest is just a bonus. All right, and we still have the Ben 10 number 2 EXP exclusive cover on the website. Jay, you want to cover that real quick?
Absolutely. You can scan that QR corner. Come on, Jay. You can scan that QR code in the corner. There we go. Or I'm going to drop the link. This is the special UV cover by Eric Canetti. You can only get through our website for now. Very, very, very limited run, 250 copies. So be sure to check that out. And also, just like last time, there will be a bundle where you can get all the covers done by Jay Fosgett for number 1 and issue number 2. And all this goes to help out the experience, keeps the lights on. And, you know, if people dig this, like I've said before, you know, I know we're doing an issue 3. I don't know how much longer we're going with this. But also, it'll give us opportunities to maybe do more exclusive covers, which, as, again, people know, I've never worked in a comic shop a day in my life. I'm just a super huge fan, so being a part of this is awesome. So I'm really excited that we're doing this. So if you have Ben 10 fans in your life or you love any of the covers, make sure you check this out.
All right. So Marcus, I did not see it, but curious as to what it was. So let me know. All right. So the sketch covers of the night. So we have Justice League No Justice, number 1, Action Comics, number 1 homage, cover sketch by Carl C.K. Kent. MSRP of $149.99, and we have for $40. And again, I'm gonna run that deal. If you get 2 or more, $35 a piece for the sketch covers. Then we have Action Comics number 419 with Superman cover sketch by John Mangini. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $40.
Did
Now,
Bob
this
Ross do
I
those
really-
clouds back there, man? Look at those clouds. Look at those happy clouds.
He sounds like Bob Ross. We're
I
just going to
love-
add some happy little clouds in the back.
I love
This is your
one.
comic. You can do whatever you'd like with it.
Okay, thanks, Marcus. So I love this one. Black Cat number 1 with Storm cover sketch by Jessica Court. Look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, when she nails it, she nails it. Look at that. That's
Unreal. All right, so suggested retail of $149.99, and we have this for $40. And who mentioned it? Yes, I forgot to do shout outs. I'm sorry.
Here, I'll do it. Thanks, everybody.
We've been shouting them out all night, y'all.
Yeah, we've been answering
We'll do it real
questions.
quick.
I think Ed Weird needs a coleslaw recipe.
Yes, he does.
I sent Jay a picture of the coleslaw. I don't know if he's got it, but whenever there it is.
Yeah,
look at that. Look at that.
And that's how it's to look.
Dude, I did have to YouTube. I did a YouTube search. That's before it got mixed. But I did a YouTube search. I was like, how do you matchstick cut an apple? I was like, what does that
sorry,
even
man.
I figured it out, man. It was easy. It was very easy.
All right, so CJ, what's going on, buddy? Oh, why is it top chat, not live chat? Hold on. All right, so we've got
Just do double shout outs. When is that?
Marvel fan Triple B. What's going on, guys? Stevie B, Space Case.
Nick
Kate,
should do America
Marcus,
250,
of course.
discuss the Italian American experience. He loves that stuff on Facebook, man. All the PBS stuff.
Also,
Maya.
if you guys want a special shout out, just buy something. We'll shout you out.
Yeah, there you go.
There's a great way to get shouted out.
Stevie B. let's see who else. I think I saw Lorena in the room at some point.
Yeah, Eddie, the truth of the matter is when I first really began leaning into my career seriously and not just goofing, Slaw looked like that. It was just sort of like dressed.
If your slaw looks like soup, bro, just throw that away. just move on.
I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum, but you see that, man? Throw that out for like the rabbits or something, man. They like cabbage.
There was one guy who refused to eat it because he was like, "There's no cabbage in that. That's not technically coleslaw." And I was like, "No, it's John Coleslaw."
Dude, I'll say it this way. I much like in the creative end, I took poetic license.
You can do that. All right, so next up we got Maestro versus Silver Surfer, cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $40.
I like this when he showed it to me at his desk.
This gives me like underground comic vibes in a way. Yeah. Right? Like 80s. Let's do our own version of Hulk versus Silver Surfer. It feels collagey, it feels textured, it feels different.
It's real good.
I like it.
He saw the look on my face and made sure he put it somewhere where I wouldn't find it again when he left. I don't blame him.
All right, then we have Superman #1 with Superman cover sketch by Gordon Purcell and Mariano Nicieza.
Nice contrast there in color because there's a lot of discussion over the years, and Jay could probably speak on this way more knowledgeably than I do. But Superman's costume color, the blue, has changed over the years. And there's always this debate of like what is the appropriate color for Superman's costume, right? Like what this is a fairly light blue, which I like because it's something different. Right.
The light blue is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
All right, last one is Action number 1000 with Bizarro cover sketch by Will Torres and Joconda Hernandez. MSRP of $149.99, and we have this one for $40 as well.
Rex, when did you have time to model for this?
Oh no!
Ouch! Buggy's back.
No!
All right, so again, I'm running that same deal.
Robbie's back. Business is about to pick
two
up.
or more sketch covers tonight. So, who else is an Avatar fan? Because I have to say that, all right, first of all, the movie that came out, 10 years ago, I think it was?
I'm going to say it was at least 10 years ago.
That was awful. Okay, that was so bad. I was so disappointed. They did not follow the animated series. And I'm not racist or anything, but they changed the nature of the people. Okay, what we're known as
on the internet when people preface something with "I'm not racist," but they're going to say.
But I'm sorry.
Racist.
Okay, so we know that Sokka is all the characters are Asian, as in Chinese, Korean type of Asian, and they made them, Indian, Middle Eastern Asian. I don't care, but that's not what the animated series had. So why are you doing that? Okay, the actors were not good. Okay. They did not really fit the people from the animated series. Now, the live action series that Netflix has done, okay, they're following everything in a very kind of strict way, and I thought it was great, and I've enjoyed it so far. And Corey, thank you. All right, and that was the key for me. Okay, and they've followed the storyline very. From the animated series very, very closely. So to me, that it is actually excellent.
Marcus Rex is against blue people.
Even the arrow on his head was wrong. Okay, in the movie,
it's creative license.
Rex is just very happy that they changed the football team from the Blueskins to the Commanders. So,
oh man.
So that's my point. All right, sorry. All right. So anyone else has been a fan?
I've only ever seen like a little bit on the animated series, right? I've only seen like the first couple seasons or whatever. That's really good. That's really good. The M. Night Shyamalan one was terrible. I've heard the new live action is good, but I haven't seen it. So
It is actually quite good. They held to the storyline in the animated series. And again, I have to tell you, I thought it was fantastic. Okay, because I watched the entire series with my daughter, and when it came to an end, we were disappointed. You know, there was a more. Then they came out with the second one, Korra, I think. That was not so good. I don't know, the animated series, it was not so good. It was like many generations after Aang and everything else, and it was not good. You know, my daughter and I tried to watch it. We couldn't get into it. But the whole thing was, the whole universe was just well thought out, well written. You know, you had airbending, firebending. You know, it was just well thought out.
Gargamel Wang.
Gargamel Wang. Yeah, Corey, have you seen the live series on Netflix?
DJ. See, that's what I'm saying. This is what the internet has taught me. Whenever somebody
I'm
says,
sorry, but you did not hold true. If the animated series had them like that, I would have been fine with it. Okay, too much artistic latitude, if you will.
no, I get what you're saying. No, there are times where they've just been like off base, and I'll tell you, the first time I remember hearing this conversation was when Star Trek: The Motion Picture came out, long before the internet or any of this other stuff, and people would just kind of talk in front of the movie theater, or you know, the comic book store, or you know, fanzines is when they showed you the Klingons.
Even the outfits,
people hated that version of the Klingons.
Even the outfits were different in the movie, a different color. You know, it's horrible.
Rex isn't racist. His best friend is an airbender.
Oh my God! All right.
Start learning them about Foundation.
Yes,
they won't laugh
sure
at that.
can. Let's go, Jay. If we could, let's go back to the Jessica Court storm.
Did you want to go talk to the publisher about Foundation? I mean, I mentioned Firefly and Dynamite got it. I mentioned Buffy and Dynamite got it.
He's asked me before. I believe I sent him an email.
Email?
He asked me in an email. I
was going to say, I just bound into his office, heedless of whatever else he's doing.
Yeah, well, that's you. That's not me.
I imagine the way, John, you walk into Nick's office is the way Kramer walks into Jerry's apartment.
You know what that
Kind
is? You're not the first person to make that analogy, and that is 100% true.
Nick one day was like, anytime, John, you're always welcome to my office.
I have an open door policy. Not now. Well, no, the worst was when he was on the phone with Amazon or whatever.
Stevie, you got it, bud. So Stevie B is
D'Lo Brown walking the head moving. The truth is, it was funny until the Amazon day. He was talking to a lady from Amazon about The Boys, and I just walked in. Hey, what's up? Blah, 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 blah. He's like, I'm on a call, and I'm like, oh, sorry. And I backed out, and then afterwards, he was like, yeah, that was Amazon, and I was like,
see, John's lying, man. What happened is Nick grabbed a switchblade and stabbed him 8 times, and John got the message. He was like, never again. It was like Royal Tenenbaums when dude gets stabbed. That's the last time you put a knife in me.
For my friends that own successful businesses, I have not always been as helpful as I think I am. But in this case, I absolutely am.
All right. So these are one last go around, and they will disappear after this week.
And if they don't sell this week, Nick is going to stab John Cole again. So we don't want that to happen, guys.
So Absolute Batman number 21, 125 ratio by Chris Brunner and Rico Renzi.
This is just very cool. I know they're having a lot of fun with the whole Absolute gimmick, and it's great.
I checked to make sure we're always at market value, so this price came down to $650.
And this book has just heated up. Like not like all of it, all of them. Like number 1 went from like $150 to $300 because they announced the animated series, which is going to be showrun by Scott Snyder and executive produced by Nick Dragata. That's awesome. We were talking earlier. Get the creators involved in the projects. See what happens.
Well, I think you look at the stuff, and especially in the beginning of the MCU, they channeled quite a bit of the Ultimate Universe. And obviously it worked out pretty well. Not perfectly, not everything was seamless, but I think if you step back and look at like that 10-year period or so, they did okay. I think when you're sort of, moving farther away from the source material, or in the case of the Supergirl director, I'm not reading the source material. Okay, dude. Now if like Mark Waid made the movie, then I'd be like, oh, all right, I get it, but like, what is your experience with doing, like franchise DC like superhero movies? I didn't really see anything.
All right.
Nicholas Meyer attributes being a lifelong Star Trek fan and going back and watching the episodes over and over again on VHS in his office as to why The Wrath of Khan was so successful.
All right, so I was debating whether to bring this up tonight or not, but Big John Castle, what's up, bud?
Hey, Pun.
Now that Big John Castle is here, I'm going to make an announcement in my personal life. So John has some hint of this because I always reach out to John, who was nice enough to be the one who recommended Braddock's Tavern for my daughter's engagement party. So my daughter got eloped on Sunday.
Oh,
that's why I called you about the photographer, right?
Yeah.
So here's the reason why. So she was getting kind of frustrated with the wedding planning because of all the different suggestions. I didn't realize it was so stressful, but I guess I should have. My first marriage was kind of like this. But the real reason, and I bring this up because I want to talk about this at some point as well. The reason they did this is her fiance or husband now does not have health insurance. He does the minimum so you don't get fined by the state. But what ended up happening was he turned 26 in last year, and he fell off of his mom's health insurance plan. Now, he has a good job, and like young people mostly, well, it's not just young people, but most people these days, unless you're old men like me and John, you don't understand how health insurance works because it is a broken system in our country.
Oh, yes.
So he had the minimal health care and it was getting to be a problem. And I was concerned, and I'm sure his parents were concerned as well. So if they get married, that is a life change, and he can get himself on his company's healthcare plan and actually carry my daughter over to it, so I don't have to pay for it anymore. That'd be awesome.
Is that why you forced the elope? Because you're tired of
I had nothing to do with it. I actually found out about 2 weeks ago. I get a call from him saying, listen, Dad, we're going to do this at such and such Morristown. They went, there's some garden up there.
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
It was, what a problem.
It's not that far from Washington's headquarters.
So give you some idea. So, she is not Corey, not even close. But so the planning was very quick. They asked me for help, which I was more than happy to help, but they didn't leave me a lot of time. So I tried to call because some photographer they went to wanted $2,000 for elopement.
Yeah, because they know it's sort of like I want to get this done. I want to get this done. They're motivated.
So the groom's mom and my daughter's friend ended up they had better cameras than just your phone. They ended up taking the pictures. The groom's stepdad took the video. It was very nice. So a lot of things went wrong beforehand.
Geek.
My daughter called me last week. I think it was Wednesday, and she just lost. Well, it's kind of my fault. So on top of everything else, both their cars developed a problem last week. His is crapped out.
That's always how it works.
Head gasket is blown, so I'm trying to help him get a new car. My daughter
head gasket's blown. It's gone.
Yeah, I was going to say now that's just
the car has 225,000.
That's whatever the junk man will take to try to take away.
Money's worth on that car.
Tell him to buy a Honda next time. Buy a Honda.
Well, he inherited the car from his mom. It was a Lexus hybrid. So my daughter's car was an O2 sensor, which has gone wrong. So they're on a little mini honeymoon, if you will. They're at Asbury Park.
That's a great spot for like.
Yeah, they're at a bread and breakfast. So.
Yeah, they have a bunch of B&Bs over there. They have some really cool sort of Verbo properties over there. And for young people, Asbury Park has become like a very cool, hip place once again to hang out.
So
in Jersey.
So actually, I have an answer for that, Corey. So they still want to do something big, but now it's turning into a destination wedding in New Orleans next year. We'll see if that happens. But if they want to, they want to.
Brew.
So
New Orleans, that's close to me, man. Let me crash it. Let's go. Me and John will show up. We'll bring some slaw.
That'll be cool. So here's the thing.
Robbie and I show up. It'll be Wedding Crashers too.
So
we brought some kegs and some coleslaw, man.
I was touched by this. My daughter requested that her old coach from the Mystics, okay, who I'm good friends with, perform the ceremony. So he took time out of his day.
That's very cool.
One of his assistant coaches on the job and came out and performed ceremony. And it was so all these things went wrong.
Yes, he is unknown. Yes, he is.
So even down to a rental car, she wanted to take all the bridesmaids in one vehicle. So I call, and I'm actually an Emerald Gold executive member, right? So I can rent from Enterprise. So I go on the website, book a car, a minivan, carry 7.
Didn't you just ask Nick to use the Dynamite Humvee?
There's no Dynamite Humvee.
Not
There's
anymore.
a white van out. So I call up just to make sure everything's set because it's late, with 2 days ago. And they tell me they don't know why the website didn't let me book it because they did not have a minivan available, which was a problem. Right. So I said, hold on to the car. They could only give me an SUV that could fit 5. So I called my daughter about that and she lost it. Okay. Then I had to go over and because she was crying and everything else, I had to go over and calm her down. Then yesterday, everything just worked out. It was really cool. So I go to pick up the car and they had a minivan. It was supposed to rain, didn't rain. Went to a place for dinner. It's a cute little town with the main street, Italian place. Had dinner. His family is very nice. So it all kind of went well. It went really well. So it's a little weird. I have to admit, I drove home last night, right? And I was feeling just a bit somber. It is a milestone in my daughter's life. She's going to be 26 next month. So, it's that time, but it just felt a little bit somber. Got to spend some time with her new husband because the day before we went looking for a car because he told me he talked to AI and it looked like it was the head gasket. And I said, dude, don't fix it. Trust me. Do not fix it.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm sorry. The head gasket is done.
So that Saturday, while she was out with the bridesmaids at karaoke, we actually went to a car dealership to look at a car. It had low miles, but it just something was funky with the tranny. So wanted to make that quick announcement. Feel a little bit weird.
Congratulations.
Really tired today. Thank you.
Now you can ignore calls from your son-in-law, not your fake son.
Well, I got to tell you, he's a good kid. Didn't like him at first. But they have been dating since senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
And I got to tell you, the first time he came out to watch her play softball, it was a very cold day. He was wearing shorts. So I knew it was cold. And he stuck out both games.
I need pictures of Cornelius as the ring bearer.
Oh, man. A little squirrel comes up with a little pillow.
I got a little bow tie on.
So, Beau Rivage Hotel and Casino.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
I have no idea what they're going to do, TJ. I'm still kind of stressed out.
Rex's son was
everything that was going on.
He's just now finding out about it. His phone's going to ring in just a second. You just wait and see.
Oh, no.
So
and Rex, you're a good dad. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. You don't like the boyfriend at first. You give him like 10 years and maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while. And I told you he can drive a stick. So that was impressive. He's been there.
He's like, well, can you? Rex is going to be like, next question. Can you write a check? No,
So
I just promoted one of my employees to lower management, right? So he's able to like, run the shifts and do things on his own, close the store. Then one day he calls me. He's like, hey, man, the Pepsi guy's here. What am I supposed to do? I go, you write him a check. He's like, how do you do that?
How do you do that?
So
I was like, it's pretty self-explanatory, honestly, if you just read the check.
So they make a good pair. They've been together since high school. He's very calm. She is not. She's kind of like me. So she gets kind of nasty at times. He is very even keeled, very calm.
That's nice.
Yeah. So
congratulations, man. That's very cool.
I don't know, Marcus. I will ask them when they get back. So they should be back tomorrow night. So I have to give him a ride since both their cars are kind of questionable.
Next Wednesday, you might hear a very different story.
Yeah, next week, Rex is going to be like, guys, just so you know, I'm ostracized from my daughter and her husband now because I asked him what he thought about airbenders.
I have a picture of the son-in-law with like a circle and a slash through it and that airbender.
My daughter's got a new rule. The guys, and 2 weeks later, everything's cool.
See,
my daughter just said, I
because
can't mention airbenders during Thanksgiving dinner.
So that won't happen because she loved that series, the animated series, as much as I did. So he would tend to, the way it kind of works is he tends to agree with her. Okay. I've been told not to mention things because he knows her, that it'll set her off. So I have to admit, they make a very good pair. So yeah, that is my big announcement for the week. I'm
That's
so
awesome.
tired today.
Congrats.
I got home so late last night and then tried to watch Avatar, watched it for a little bit, fell asleep, and it got this horrible cramp in my right foot.
That's all the shots.
Maybe.
The booze went straight to you.
It was so hot though. Oh my God, it was hot outside. But yeah, all in all, day went without a hitch. It started to rain a little bit as we were driving to the restaurant for dinner. Yeah, no, I didn't raise a kid like that. Although now having grandkids is very real, and I'm looking forward to it because I have friends who have grandchildren, and it is just amazing. It's just amazing. So, but I have to admit, it is a little strange, to me, all these years raising her. She's obviously done better at this than I have. I've been married and divorced twice, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing when it comes to marriage.
Maybe you're picky. Maybe you're finicky.
Maybe I'm just stupid.
Maybe the right girl hasn't come along
you
yet.
Split half your crap twice, okay?
So basically you have nothing.
I have a quarter of what I started with. All right, so anyway. Yeah, it's my buddy.
Can't tie that stallion down. There you go,
my buddy from the Mystics who performed ceremony.
Congratulations, Jay.
He actually has 4, but the other ones live in North Carolina. So he goes
they don't
up.
count?
No. But here's the thing: he's very close to the ones here because she lives near Harrisburg. So basically, they both her and her husband work. So what he does is, because he works weekends, so every Sunday he drives up to Harrisburg, stays with them, and watches the kids for a couple of days, 2-3 days. So his daughter and her husband don't have to pay for daycare. So he goes there and he spends a couple of days, comes back Tuesdays, goes to work, and then drives back up Sundays, Saturdays if he can get off early. And he is just so happy, I'm jealous. I have to tell you the truth. I am definitely jealous when I see that. So anyway, I share everything with this group, so I figure I might as well share that too. Yeah, that's true, Marcus. That'd be nice, actually. And pump their own gas.
He's over in Philly cruising for women. Hey, what you doing there? Getting unleaded, or what are you doing?
Congrats, CJ. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. I'm seeing that.
All right, so on with the
Marvel
books.
fan too.
Yeah, Marvel fan too. All right, so here we go. So next up, we got X-Men United,
Don't we
number
have to
1.
take a break at 7:30?
Oh crap! Sorry, Jay. This show has really gone off the rails. We'll have to come
This
back
one.
and go quick. No, this one's really gotten off.
Just me and John got to be quiet when we come back from break. Is what was yeah.
All right, so we'll be right back. Oh, Stevie B, congrats, bro.
Oh,
See?
congratulations! That's great to see in the group.
Yeah, I can't wait for the first one. I can wait, but I think about that a little bit.
Yeah, this
CJ,
show,
good
exactly,
point.
CJ.
All right, so we're going to take our last and final break. We'll be right back.
Hey, did you know that you're invited to an art gala? No, I mean the fun kind. It's Sketch Up with Mog and Mel.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks again for joining us.
Featured guests talk about their new projects.
So it takes place in this fantasy world where the world has kind of lost its stories.
And life as an artist.
The hope was that you could make some amount of money when you exited art school.
While the ever-changing artist panel draws new works live in front of your eyes.
Oh, I like that. Working on the
And
shadow.
they're sexy. Sex, dude.
You still got a little bit of time.
Ooh, Phil, that's dope, dude.
Sketch Up with Mog and Mel. Thursday nights. Part of the experience.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com.
All right, here we go. All right, so X-Men United #1 by Scotty Young. Have that for 5. Then we have Wade Wilson, Deadpool #1 by Scotty Young. Have that for 5. Then Fantastic Four #7 by Scotty Young. Have that for 5. Mark Spears, Monsters #8 blind bag variant. Have that for 5. Then we have the actual Mark Spears Monsters #8 blind bag itself. It is sealed. Have that for 5.
That's a good deal, man. You might get a good one.
Thank you. I know. All right, Black Bat #1 high-end limited edition, only 100 printed. Have that MSRP of 50. We have that for 40.
Always a good idea to get anything limited that's by J. Scott Campbell.
Then we have Death Fight Forever #1. Have that for 4. White Sky #1. Have that for 5. Bleeding Hearts #1. Have that for 5.
Pick of the night right there. Love this book. It gets better and better as each issue progresses.
All right. G.I. Joe #20. Have that for 4. Deathstroke Terminator #1. Have that for 4.
It's my second pick, Tony Fleece. We all know him and love him as the writer of Feral and Stray Dogs. He's done a lot of work over at Dynamite and other publishers. Deathstroke to Terminator. This book is amazing. This is cover price, if not less than cover price. Somebody snatch this up. You'll like it.
All right. Batwoman #1. Have that for 4. G.I. Joe number 326, the Invincible variant. Have that for 4. Super Creep Show number 1, Invincible variant. Have that for 4. Battle Beast number 7, Invincible variant. Have that for 4. Then Lobo number 1, have that for 5. Dork number 1, third print. Have that for 4. The Infernal Hulk number 5, have that for 4. I Hate Fairyland number 49, have that for 4. New Champions number 1, 1/100 Art Germ. Have that MSRP of 100, have that for 25. Zatanna, Bring Down the House number 1, 125 ratio by Bueno. Have that for 10. X-Force number 50, George Perez, 125 ratio. Beast variant. Have that for 7. G.I. Joe number 49 by Mooneyham. Have that for 4.
One of my favorite characters in G.I. Joe, Serpentor, right there.
Nice. All right. Edge of Spider-Verse number 3, 1:50 ratio. It's a Virgin by Tony Daniel. Have that for 20.
Man, Miles Morales' sting is getting bigger and bigger, isn't he? He went from a sting to being Electro.
All right. Aliens versus Avengers number 1, 1/100 Brooks Virgin variant. Have that for 50.
I like this book.
Energon Universe 2024 special number 1 by Daniel Warren Johnson and Mike Spicer. Have that for 4. Man Bat number 4. Have that for 3. 602 Fantastic Four number 2. Have that for 3. Last week I'm gonna have this on. Mumra the Ever Living number 1 Crease Lee variant is graded a 9.8. Have that for 75. Mumra the Ever Living, The Virgin by Crease Lee is a 9.8. Have that for 75.
I gotta tell you, if the price is the same, I'm getting The Virgin.
Red Sonja Reborn number 6, the Ito variant. It's also a CGC 9.8. Have that for 100. Red Sonja Reborn number 6, Ito Virgin variant, CGC 9.8. Have that for 100. Red Sonja Reborn number 4, Ito variant, CGC 9.8. Have that for 100. And then version of the same issue, 9.8. Have that for 100. Then we have Thundar the Barbarian number 2, Ito, CGC 9.8, have that for 100. Then we have the Virgin of the same issue, also an Ito, a 9.8, and have that for 100. All right, so Dynamite books coming out on Wednesday. Red Sonja She-Devil with a Sword, number 3, cover A by Stuart Sager. Then we have cover B by Lucho Perillo. Then cover C by Joseph Michael Linsner. Cover D by Mike Ruth. Cover E is a cosplay. Cover G is the Joseph Michael Linsner Virgin.
Stevie, unfortunately, driving BMW, one of the things you sacrifice is a glove box. Especially, I have an M5, and that thing has really been stripped down. There's not a lot of, they don't care too much about consoles and comfort and any of that stuff.
All right, then we have cover H to 110 ratio cosplay Virgin. Then cover I, the 110 ratio Mike Ruth Virgin.
Oh, you got a claim?
Absolute 21 White Sky. All right. Hold on there, Space Case. Let me go back and get that for you.
Good pickups.
Case wants White Sky. Space Case. Gotcha, Space Case. And where's the other one? Absolute 21.
And by the way, long live Obafemi. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, there we go.
And go Sami Zayn. If you know, you know.
Yeah, that was very. That was cool. That was very cool to see.
All right.
PG, I wish my trunk was like the TARDIS, man. Oh.
All right. Then we have cover J, the 115 ratio Lucho Prio Virgin. Cover K, the 120 ratio Stuart Sager Virgin. Cover L, the Lucho Prio UV variant.
I swear his work looks better in UV, and I know people think I'm crazy, but
All right, cover M, the Pablo de Bonis Absolute Homage variant. Then cover N, the 1/7 ratio Lucho Prio UV Virgin. Then cover O, the 1/7 ratio de Bonis Absolute Homage Virgin. Then cover P, the 1/7 ratio Mike Ruth Black and White Virgin. Then Red Sonja Noir, The Plunder and the Princess, number 1, cover A by Lyrics Lee. Cover B by Robert Hack. Cover C, The Cosplay. Cover D, The Blind Bag. Then cover F, The Robert Hack Virgin. Then cover G, the 110 ratio Cosplay Virgin. Then cover H, the 115 ratio Lyrics Lee Virgin. Then also out Wednesdays, Vampirella Summer Special 2026. Number 1 is cover A by Shannon Mayer. Cover D by Adriana Mello. Cover C is The Cosplay. Cover D is the Blind Bag variant. Cover F is the Shannon Mayer Virgin. Cover G is the 110 ratio Cosplay Virgin. Then cover H is the 115 ratio Adriana Mello Virgin. Then also out on Wednesday, we got The Lion King number 4, cover A by Edwin Gallon. Cover B by Ariana Consoni. Cover C is by Jacob Edgar. Cover D is a cartoon head variant. Cover E is a 110 ratio cartoon head Virgin. Cover F is the 110 ratio Jacob Edgar Virgin. Cover G is the 1:15 ratio Ariana Consoni Virgin. Cover H is the 1:15 ratio Edwin Galman Virgin. Cover I is the Edwin Galman Black and White variant.
oh, I like that. That's nice.
And then we've got cover J, the 1/5 Edwin Galman Black and White Virgin. So also out on Wednesday, Lilo and Stitch 626 number 2, cover A by Paulina Ganicho. And cover B, the 110 ratio Paulina Ganicho Virgin. And those are the Dynamite books coming out Wednesday. right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the sketch covers real quick. I am running the same deal. $40 if you buy one, $35 if you buy two or more sketch covers. All right, so still available. Justice League No Justice #1 with Action Comics #1 homage cover sketch by Carl C.K. Kent. Action Comics #419 with Superman cover sketch by John Mangini. All right, and then Maestro versus Silver Surfer cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza.
I really need this. This book is a good lesson to me to look more carefully at Mariano's desk when he leaves. It's an excellent cover.
Superman #1 with Superman cover sketch by Gordon Purcell and Mariano. And then finally, Action 1000 with Bizarro cover sketch by Will Torres and Joconda Hernandez. All right. So I may bring these sketch covers that did not get claimed tonight back on Wednesday. We'll see. Other than that, we still got some
because
time
if
left.
they don't buy them, they get punished.
Well, John Castle on the show, right?
That's what I was going to say. They get punished.
All right. So, Robbie, tell us again the movie of the week.
It's Hot Fuzz from Edgar Wright, starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. It is the conclusion of Crew's choice, and we've given this pick to the most important member of the crew, the PCP audience. So you picked it. We're covering it tonight. Hot Fuzz.
See, Hill Robbie would have said to the most important person, myself, I would be picking.
Oh,
yes, right?
Giveaway of the night is Avengers #1 with Century cover sketch by Joe Del Beato and Mariano Nicieza. Hashtag, as always, is EXP Monday. Oh, that's here. All lowercase. All right. So, Jay, what do we have coming up after this show?
That Century book reminds me that we're going to need to get Mariano more purple pens. Look at that cover. He has gone nuts.
So, of course, make sure you watch PCP Movie Night, one of my favorite of the three of the Cornetto trilogy. But come back to the experience at 11 Eastern 10 Central for Best Coast Comics, where they are actually going to be talking about the Absolute Animated, Absolute Batman Animated Series. There we go. John Coe is making a claim.
Action. Got John. Hold on. Let me see. John Coe. I got the action. And what was the other one? Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. Maestro said that's a.
Got
I'm
John.
glad to see someone picked it up. That's a good claim. That's a real good claim because
Gotcha, bud. You're good. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm assuming we might see Maestro in Doomsday.
Beats me.
That would be a missed opportunity if we don't see him in Doomsday or Secret Wars, right?
People know I'm hardly ever critical of Marvel films, but yeah, that would be a mistake.
I feel like Doomsday and Secret Wars is the 1-2 punch that's like the big finale. Let's wrap it all up. And I think they're going to do a soft, if not hard reboot after Secret Wars. I think they're going to do what DC did with Crisis back in like 86, but cinematically with the MCU.
I mean, it makes sense, right? You've sort of, there were, at one point we talked about this, about after Avengers Endgame. We talked about this, right? Like, were they going to do the hard reset there? And they felt they still had more story to tell. And I'll admit, I like the idea of a post-blip world. I thought that was a very cool idea. I don't think they pulled it off as well as they could have.
Right.
I think that, it should have been handled a little bit differently. Didn't work out that way, but
maybe the superhero genre is just done.
Maybe it is, but there'll still be room for it, right? Like Westerns were like the heyday of cinema back in like the 50s, right?
Yeah.
But like they still make Westerns. It just doesn't have the same impact. Like, what is the new trend? If there's a new trend right now, it's low budget horror movies. But you know what? That's always the trend because that always works. It's been working for 40 years. Let's keep it going.
Practical effects, even in the 80s, early 90s, practical effects were cheap.
Limit yourself. You will be a better maker of art when you're limited, right? When you're hungry and you don't have all the resources you feel like you need, that's when artists create the best art.
I think what'll happen is we'll sort of see like the last hurrah, so to speak. We've got Spider-Man, we've got Avengers, Secret War, Doomsday. I think we might get something else with the Fantastic Four. I don't know. The X-Men, and then I very much believe they'll start again. Who's going to be the next Iron Man? Who can pull that off? Who can pull off?
And why? What better time to do it than like a big multiversal storyline? Yes. Do a reset. You haven't announced your cast for X-Men yet. You have a cast for Fantastic Four, but I don't feel that some of that cast is going to be there 5 years from now. Pedro Pascal is going to like move beyond this. Vanessa Kirby is going to want to go try to win an Oscar at some point,
I assume
right?
Pedro Pascal will be the president in 5 years. Everybody loves that too. He's going to have no time for movie making, man. That's out. I haven't seen a guy this universally loved since Mr.
There
Ron.
will always be superhero content. The heyday may be behind us, meaning like a peak of interest.
Right.
But as a genre, it will never die, just like the Western, just like the musical, things that had a moment, but they still represent a significant portion of what we have as cinema every year.
Plus, I believe certain things are better in certain formats. My mother was a huge lover of musicals. They were always, when I was a kid, I'd hear something in the background. To her dying day, no matter how good a musical was, she claimed you had to see it on Broadway. So I grew up in a house very much where Broadway was the primary platform, even though they didn't call it back then, for musicals.
Right.
And I guess I can kind of see that, right? Like, you know, I know from going to some plays that when you're there, you know, it's infinitely better. Mel Brooks just recently said...
Turned 100.
100 years old, man. So much bad news in the world. Let's celebrate this man living
celebrate
to 100.
That is amazing.
And still making movies. I mean, Spaceballs 2 is about to come out. That's crazy.
I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to see that. That is something I definitely want to see.
I think that the superhero genre, now that the road has been plowed, so to speak, and we have that as a genre now, like a viable genre, I tend to think what's better for comics are animated series and series on like streaming shows, because it's a longer format storytell, right? I honestly think that if they had turned Supergirl into like an 8-episode series, yeah, sure. The knuckleheads were going to complain no matter what you did. So let's just say we could scrape that out as invalid. The people who talked about it with legitimate issues about filmmaking and stuff like that, I think a lot of those issues would have went away if you had more accurately adapted the story and put it in the format that Woman of Tomorrow was in.
So something I may talk about on Wednesday, because we're running out of time here, but favorite Mel Brooks movie, and there's been tons of them. It's Blazing Saddles.
The American Film Institute just named Blazing Saddles is the funniest movie of all time.
I think Blazing Saddles is up there. Me personally, Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein.
Young
I gotta
Frankenstein.
tell you, for me, it's History of the World Part 1.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. It's just, it was the format. It was just so funny.
And there's a perfect example. The producers, as a story, as a movie, I think is good. When you see the producers on Broadway,
it's better.
It is great.
So much better on stage, man. It really is. But they're both great for what they are. And I went to both of those fountains in New York. When I was in New York, I went to the Central Park one that's in the I think it's in the musical movie, and then I went to the one outside of the Met that's on that's in the original movie with Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder, right?
Wilder.
They had turned it off, by the way. The fountain was off. I was really upset, but you know what? It's like there were 2 Mel Brooks fountain destinations on my New York trip, which I loved. So
you're coming here?
Wait, what? What? What's going on?
We did. Well, we haven't given it away yet, though.
Oh, what'd you give away?
It is the Avengers #1 with Century cover sketch by Delbiato and Mariana.
All right, let's do 2 because we got the 30 likes, which has made me happy. So we're going to give away a Terminator ash can.
All right, so two giveaways tonight.
And if you see this Century cover,
Let's just give both to one person.
Okay, I like that.
You don't want to spread it out?
Let's
spread it out. So 2 people win.
All right.
Double
I'm
the
cool with
fun.
that.
All right. So you know what? Let's do the drawing
Dude,
now.
contradicting the boss live on air. Rex, that's bold.
What?
Next week,
No,
you and
I'm
I
just
are doing
thinking,
the show,
2 people
Robbie.
win instead of 1. Double the amount of winners.
Nick
That's
was
all-
thinking about shipping costs.
I'll ship a slow boat. We'll be good.
Incidentally, if you see Mariano's cover for the Century,
Yeah.
he will be needing more purple magic markers ordered for him at his desk.
Okay.
All right. So
That being said, real quick, best Mel Brooks performance in a movie called To Be or Not to Be, in my
To
opinion.
be or not to be with
That
and
movie is
Bancroft,
great.
his
Yeah.
real life wife.
All right, so let's do the first one. Is the Avengers #1 with Century cover sketch. Go ahead, Jay. Spin that wheel.
Rex doesn't know, but that shipping's getting docked from his paycheck, man. You just wait from his salary.
Hey, what is this $8 deduction?
Alberto.
from? Alberto, congratulations.
All right.
On his birthday.
All right. Then Terminator ash can. This one's nice. John Coe.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats, bro.
Oh, see, you can throw that in with the other stuff he's bought.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he'll end up getting free shipping on everything.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
So you won't get the Bob Cratchit deduction in your pay.
So that's 3 shipping costs you have to cover then in your next paycheck.
Thanks, Rob. You really helping out here.
Hey, man, I know how it works, dude. I run a business.
I run a business. I feel like I should
Hey,
announce
Jay,
something.
next week we got to talk about a mute button that I can push. Okay.
You have to upgrade the experience membership to get access to that. You can't use it for the regular half level.
So this way, I can.
Oh, that would be
mute
great,
Rob.
dude. Like, somebody pays like $100 like a month and like to be a member of the EXP and they can like mute any of us at any time. Wouldn't that be great?
Jay tells me that now. I will Venmo him $100 in like 15 minutes.
All right. So
This would be the quietest 2 hours we've ever been.
Jay would just silently go through the covers and the comics and the prices.
The Monday show featuring Jay and Robbie. It'll be great.
all right. So I'll be back Wednesday with Castle, and I'll see you guys then. Thank you,
Thanks,
Robbie.
everybody, for joining us.
Thank you, John. Surprise visit. So it's always good.
I still going back to the shore tonight because tomorrow's a brunch for England USA soccer.
It's going to be hot, man.
It is going to be hot.
England,
and
USA tomorrow, right? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, tomorrow's I think England and America. Is I think tomorrow.
I have no idea.
Well, I know I'm
I
going
don't
to a soccer brunch, so I'm assuming that's the game. It's like a 9:30
Go
a.m.
to
game.
brunch. What do you care? Right?
It's boozy. It's boozy breakfast. I'm in.
There you go. And of course, thank you, Jay, for doing your thing. And I will see everyone Wednesday. All right. I'm going to go home, try to watch Avatar, eat something, and go to sleep. I'm so
We
tired.
might be the hosts, but Robbie is the ruler of the Monday show.
Heel, maybe.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great night. There you go, Robbie.
See you Wednesday. Peace.